let's go, let's go.
Welcome everyone back to Lincoln, Nebraska. Let's try this again. Game 1 was supposed to be last night, but Mother Nature had other plans. No worries, the Husker fans are back in numbers to support Nebraska as they take on Oklahoma State in this best-of-3 Super Regional. Jordy Fromm and Rhonda Revelle enjoying every moment they have together as their time is now short. Ruby Malin enjoying the time she has with her family back in her home state after they made the short drive down from Omaha. Welcome to the NCAA Softball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Back at Bowlin Stadium. The winner of this goes on to play the winner from the Fayetteville Super Regional, who, in fitting fashion, were delayed by weather earlier today. So they are just about to get underway right now as well. Arkansas Duke. Winner gets Nebraska Oklahoma State in the Women's College World Series. Let's take you back to last night and show you exactly how we got to this point. It looked like what could potentially be a record-breaking crowd here at Bowlin Stadium. Unbelievable atmosphere for Game 1 of Super Regionals. Jordy Fromm put on a show in the first inning. Not one strikeout, 2 strikeouts. She was locked in both in the circle and at the plate. A base hit to lead things off for the Huskers on the offensive side as well. She would be retired moments later on a fielder's choice. So our situation is Hannah Core at first, 1 out in the first inning, because right after that, the tarp came on, the rain came big time. We thought we were gonna resume at about 8:10 last night. Umpires even came out and said, you know what? I don't know about this. So the tarp's back on, we're back at the ballpark, and we couldn't be more thrilled. We waited a long time for this moment right here. Alongside Jenny Dalton-Hill, I am Chucky Kemp. It's Jordy and it's Ruby, and it's a fantastic atmosphere for Jordy Fromm. Her days in this jersey and on this field are numbered.
Well, and it's so exciting for her to be able to represent in front of a hometown crowd for the first time ever in Super Regionals for Nebraska. That crowd needs to show up again today because you said it. It looked record-breaking last night in just 1 inning of play.
Somewhat safe to say that whoever pitches better between Jordy Fromm and Ruby Malin will be the team that comes out on top.
And I think what you need to look at on this graphic is making sure you understand earned runs. The offense for Fromm has been able to show up. Malin, the defense behind her, they need to show up as well. Fromm, more strikeouts, but low walks, low free passes on both sides.
Jordy's got 2 national championships from her days at Oklahoma, but can she take Nebraska back to OKC? It would be their 8th ever trip and their first since 2013. Ruby Malin has also been to Oklahoma City, but it was as a freshman at Washington. Oklahoma State also trying to return to OKC for the 13th time. Just under 2 weeks ago, this journey started for these 2 teams, who both heard their names called in the top 16. So they hosted last weekend at regionals. Both of them a perfect 3-0. Much different fashion, but there's only one spot in Oklahoma City that awaits the Huskers or the Cowgirls. All right, the stage is set. 0-0, bottom of the first inning with 1 out. Nebraska has 1 run on, 1 batter on base for Ruby Malin. The Omaha, Nebraska native, started her career at Washington, but the last 2 at Oklahoma State, and she has been a workhorse for them this year.
She has appeared in 43 of the team's 56 games, this being her 31st start. She is truly carrying this roster. A good velocity power pitcher, throws twice as many drops than any other pitch, and throws the drop to multiple levels to manipulate swings. That rise ball will get the swing and miss. It's a newer pitch to her repertoire, and is throwing her changeup with a little bit more confidence.
19 hours, 42 minutes later, we are back underway as we look at our Capital One starting lineup for the Cornhuskers. Jordy Fromm already a base hit at the top of that. We are in the 3 spot. Hannah Kamenzind, one of the Kamenzind twins on this Nebraska roster who were high school teammates with Ruby Malin at Scott Catholic High School. Won a state championship together. Couple of them for Hannah. Hard hit into left field. That is on the line fair. Just like that, the Huskers bring this crowd to their feet.
Knowing that the changeup is a little bit more of a confident pitch in Ruby Malin's repertoire, it looks as though they're allowing the ball to get a little bit deeper. So with power coming out of the circle, a little bit late contact. However, a lot of strength behind it to drive that ball just inside the foul line down the left field line.
Kamenzind having a really good NCAA tournament so far. Now the cleanup hitter, Ava Cusack, who of all these connections for Ruby Malin, this is the one she is closest to and has stayed in touch with over the years. They played a little bit of travel ball together, despite the fact that Cusack is from Broomfield, Colorado, started her career at Wisconsin.
Anybody that's played in the travel ball world knows that you don't necessarily play on a team close to home. You're always just looking for opportunities to be on the best team. And so look at this lineup. I mean, talk about a travel ball team with a lot of power.
Ruby ahead of Cusack, 1-2 here. Looking for a big out number 2. First and second in the bottom of the first. I mean, what a spot to get yourself into with Ruby Malin, who had just one on, but you're facing arguably Nebraska's best hitter, or second best hitter in Hannah Kamenzind, who immediately gets a base hit. 2-2.
And that rise ball is new into Ruby Malin's back pocket. She started throwing it last year, but I feel like this year she's really learned to throw that pitch with more command. So far here today, though, that pitch is not really riding in a hittable zone.
3-2 count. Cusack has worked it full. She is one of the best run producers and power hitters on this Nebraska roster. 14 home runs, 49 RBIs on the season.
And Coach Rhonda Revelle says she is the heart of this team.
Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Ruby. That's number 1 of the day.
And it's so important to be able to throw up in the zone with command, and in that at bat just struggle to get that pitch up in the zone to be very effective. Goes back to a lower rise ball, 66 miles an hour, rings up her friend.
Two outs for Jessie Farrell. Ball one upstairs to the junior from Henderson, Nevada, transferred from UNLV this year, spent 2 years there as a starter. Has tremendous power, 16 home runs, second best on the Nebraska roster. This is lifted to deep left center field toward the berm. It's gone! Jessie Farrell, a massive swing for the Cornhuskers.
Run production was the piece of Nebraska's game that had me a little bit concerned coming into this super regional, needing to support their pitching staff that has been able to keep pretty low run totals all season long. When you throw a ball like that to Jessie Farrell, her heat map tells you middle away is her power zone, and that's exactly what happened. 233 feet. Leaves the ballpark, puts Nebraska on the board.
Strike one to the next hitter, Samantha Bland. This Huskers crowd into it. There's no doubt that they would be back today. What was even more impressive was the fact that after that rain delay that spanned almost 2 hours, when we came back, it didn't look like anyone had went home.
No, they did have to leave the ballpark because of the lightning. And with that, we saw a lot of people in their cars in the parking lot. However, they came back as soon as the gates were open.
To the right side, it's Godwin who makes the play, and that'll do it for the first inning. We're back in business, and Nebraska is really in business with a 3-run shot off the bat of Jessie Farrell.
Jessie Farrell, 17th home run of the year, comes at the perfect spot to be able to put Nebraska up on top. They've got the 3-0 lead.
The NCAA Softball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Back in Lincoln, Nebraska. The Huskers up 3-0 as we go to the second inning, and here comes Jordy Fromm. What can you say about the senior from Papillion, Nebraska, who came home after 2 national championships at Oklahoma? That was just the start of this legendary career. She's a top 3 finalist for USA Softball Player of the Year and will likely become the 14th player ever to be a first-team All-American 4 times.
Well, she threw over 200 innings last season. This season, less starts, fewer innings, and fewer complete games because of the help she's been able to get in the circle. Upper 60s, good velocity, doesn't lose spin through her rise and drop pitches that she throws with command. Confidently throws that changeup in any count.
That's the abbreviated scouting report from Jenny Dalton Hill, because there's just so many things that Jordy Fromm does well, like fooling hitters all over the place. There is strike one as we look at the Capital One starting lineup for Oklahoma State. Retired 3 of the first 4. Rosie Davis, who is the dangerous 3-hole, had a base hit, but she starts off this inning with Amanda Hassler, who is on a 6-game hit streak with 2 home runs and 11 RBIs in that span.
2 home runs in the regional, 10 for 20 in her last 6 games. I mean, this is a hitter that is red hot in the postseason and has turned it on at just the right time, knowing that run production is going to be really hard against Jordy Fromm.
And a daunting task in a 3-run hole after 1 inning. This is off the handle out to the shortstop, Cusack. 1 out. Here's Kenny Gajewski, year number 11, 5 Women's College World Series appearances. They missed last year after making 5 straight from 19 to 24. They've won 24 of their last 29 games this year.
They've gone to 6 super regionals in their last 7 seasons.
They talked about a turning point in their year. The team did when they beat Oklahoma. Said that it just kind of made them believe, and said they've kind of ridden this momentum since that point, even into the Big 12 tournament when they lost to ASU. So they gave up 11 runs, but they still felt like they were in that game and had a chance to win. Good spot from Jordy on the outside corner. 1-1 count here against Madison Hoffman, the right fielder.
Well, and it was during that trip to Arizona that they actually had a guest speaker that brought in what has become kind of a mantra for them this year. Sometimes you, sometimes me, always us.
This is popped up and into the bullpen. 1-2 count.
This time of the year, when you know you've got such great arms in the circle, you've got to back them up at the plate. And more than anything, you have to make sure that you don't put the undue pressure on yourself to get it all done in one swing. So having that team mindset, really important as you try to just pass the bat and put pressure on the defense.
1-2 from Fromm. Slow roller left side, scooped up and safe at first. Hoffman beats it out for an infield single.
Defensively, it is so important for you to be aggressive moving forward, especially on a ball coming off the bat that doesn't have a lot of juice. Over there at third base, a lot of times you get the ball as a hot shot off the bat, but that one had a ton of English as she got it off of the end of the bat. Had to charge it a little bit harder to be able to give herself a chance to get that out at first.
Barely see the foot hit the base before the ball into the mitt. 1 on, 1 out. That misses low and away to Tia Warsop, the center fielder from Northampton, England. Born there, but moved to Dallas at age 4. She's a member of the Great Britain senior national team. Second on the team last year with a 348 average. She leads the group this year at a 349 average. Talk about consistency. This is all Jordy's done in her career, and this is really just a snippet of what she's done. But she's 1 home run and 1 win away from being this first player ever to have a 20-20 season 2 times.
I don't think there is enough room on our screen to put together the kind of resume builder that Jordy Fromm has put together in her entire career. 2 years at Oklahoma, 2 years at Nebraska, and what you're looking at is a crowd trying to send her off to OKC.
Ball 2.
When these two teams matched up in the regular season, they played twice. It was split. Each team won a game. There was one more game that could have been played, but both of these coaches realized, look, this might be a postseason matchup, so let's go ahead and just cut our losses and leave it where it's at.
This is in the air to right center field, not going to have enough on it. Back to the warning track, and it's a nice grab by Hoffman in right. They hold the runner at first with 2 outs.
And that was played correctly over at first base by Hoffman to get a big enough lead that in case the ball dropped, she'd be able to advance to third base. So as she had to retreat quickly, there was plenty of time for her to be able to get back on that ball that was just a couple of feet from leaving the ballpark.
Jordy Fromm looking for 2 clean innings to start off this super regional. Facing Audrey Schneidmiller.
Oh, nice. Go.
Takes ball 1 just outside.
Way to go, Jesse. I know.
Schneidmiller, an all Big 12 defensive team member this year from Burleson, Texas, a redshirt senior. Out in front and over the top of that pitch.
I don't think Kenny Gajewski could have oozed the appreciation for Audrey Schneidmiller anymore when we chatted with her, or with him, before this started. Beautiful changeup by Jordy to get that tight spin, fool the eye of Schneidmiller at the plate.
Ground ball back to Fromm, casually to first, and Jordy is rolling through 2. Nebraska on top, 3-0 behind one of the nation's best. See where we are this weekend for Super Regionals. Somewhat across the country, at least thanks to UCLA out in California. We've got everything covered. A lot of SEC schools hosting this weekend, and then Nebraska and UCLA out of the Big Ten. This is how things set up. Winner of the Lincoln Super Regional faces the winner of Arkansas Duke, with the Razorbacks leading now in the bottom of the second. That game just resuming after a very lengthy rain delay. A couple late ones, Alabama, LSU after us, UCF, UCLA. The very late game at 9 Eastern as we look at our score. Nebraska up 3-0 thanks to a 3-run home run off the bat of the junior Jesse Farrell.
Getting the offense going early is so important to be able to back up what's going on in the circle. Both of these pitchers so hard to hit against.
Ruby Malin trying to settle in here in the second frame. She will face 7, 8, 9 for the Huskers, led off by Casey Hoffman. Fouls this one away. Talked to both of these coaches about their regular season meetings back on February 26th and 28th, and they both echoed the same sentiment that it had a super regional type of feel. Neither team would seemingly bend. Both those games ending with one-run victories, each team picking up one of them.
And those are the kind of games that really help you determine what kind of team you are, expose some weaknesses to be able to learn lessons to pay off now here at the end of the season.
One of those games went 11 innings, with Oklahoma State walking it off in their victory. The other was a 4-3 Nebraska win, thanks to a Jordy Fromm 2 RBI single in the 6th inning of that game. This is into right field, a leadoff base hit for Casey Hoffman.
So important to be able to just fight off these drop balls that get in on the hands of a hitter. You've got to be strong enough to expose a hole, and that's exactly what Hoffman was able to do. Got jammed up a little bit, but forced it through the 3-4 hole. Put herself on to start this inning with a runner at first.
They'll run for Hoffman with Kennedy Williams, a Lincoln native. Rhonda Revelle seemed to be calling over Bella Bacon. She wants to talk strategy here with her hitter at the plate.
Bacon not known for a ton of power. I would anticipate that right now they're trying to move runners, so the defense is going to need to adjust accordingly depending on what Bacon shows at the plate.
Bacon missed some time earlier this year with injury. She's hitting .333 on the season. Her power that she has had has come in the form of doubles, with 4 of her 15 hits going for 2 bases. Bacon is an Omaha native, started her career in 23 at Purdue, spent just 1 season there. Strike 2 from Ruby. Want to make sure she does not give Jordy Fromm an opportunity in a couple batters with too much to work with. We welcome our new audience who just watched Tennessee become the first team to advance to Oklahoma City to Lincoln, where the Huskers are in business here in the second after 3 runs in the first inning. And Jordy Fromm dealing in the circle. They're trying to add to that lead here in the second.
Back-to-back hits off of Malin here this inning. But let's take you back to the first inning. Jessie Farrell up to the plate, 2 runners on, no doubter. There's a 1-0 count. Big hit for Nebraska. Farrell's 17th home run of the year. That put him on the board and gives them the 3-0 lead that they have now.
This game resuming after a 19-hour, 42-minute delay after rain hit the area last night. Jordy Fromm awaits on deck in a big situation. She's been excellent through 2 innings in the circle. She has already got a base hit off of Ruby Malin, as she hopes that this is the final 2 games here in Lincoln and that they are soon off to Oklahoma City. First and third for Lauren Kamenzind. Her sister Hannah already a base hit off their former high school teammate Ruby Malin. This is fouled up and out of play, 1-1 count.
When with runners on the corners, the defense is going to go ahead and play a little bit more shallow to try to prevent advancement on a ground ball to the infield. But what that does, when you play shallow, it also takes away some lateral movement. So being able to punch this ball through the infield just got a little bit easier.
Underneath the 1-1 pitch. Big opportunity for Ruby Malin to get a strikeout and keep the runners where they are.
Well, knowing that Ruby Malin loves the drop ball, that's why the defense is so confident being able to play a little bit more shallow. They know that she rolls a ton of ground balls. That rise ball, though, is a little bit more of a confident pitch that Malin is throwing this season to give that separation and have to make a hitter decide on a swing plane early.
Jordy on deck. Ground ball left side. They hold Williams at third, and they've got 1 out, but the runner did advance to second. So 2 in scoring position for Jordy Fromm.
In her first plate appearance, she hit the ball right back up the middle, started the game off with a hit on the ground, wasn't trying to lift and elevate. Now trying to help her cause with 2 runners in scoring position.
Jordy and Ruby played a year of travel ball together, won a PGF National Championship on the same team. They were high school foes here in the state of Nebraska. 2 of the best this state has ever produced, facing off with everything on the line here in Supers. Inside, ball one.
And with runners in scoring position, the defense will be in again. They are going to play shallow, try to get that rolled ground ball to prevent advancement to the plate and keep Nebraska from scoring again.
Fromm hits .468 with runners in scoring position. 2-0.
Fromm is so composed in the circle. She's only had 8 games without a hit this season. 3 home runs in her last 10 games.
Well, off speed in there for strike one.
And if you go back and you look at the way that they've attacked Fromm to be successful, it's been that changeup. Teammates playing travel ball together, now going against each other to try to get to OKC.
They don't necessarily stay in touch, but a lot of mutual respect from these two. So that just misses a little high, and a 3-1 count to one of the most dangerous hitters that is playing this week. And this is somebody in Jordy Fromm who didn't really hit at Oklahoma. She was 13 of 32 at the plate as a sophomore. It was much more about the arm when she was playing for the Sooners. Swings through it, full count.
The changeup was the pitch that she struck out on against Malin earlier this year when these two teams faced off. So you know that that pitch is in her mind, but you have to be able to hit velocity as well. So sitting in the middle of those two speeds is a tough way to attack with 2 strikes.
3-2 is fought off.
As a hitter in this situation, you've got to be able to react to velocity, but also then be able to identify the off speed and spoil that pitch to extend the at-bat. Really important to think going the other way, let the ball travel deep.
Swings through it. Ruby Malin wins the battle, and there's 2 outs.
So while the changeup was the pitch that got Fromm out earlier this season, she goes up in the zone, 67-mile-an-hour rise ball just over the barrel of Jordy Fromm. Big reaction by Malin, knowing that this is a tough spot.
Ruby Malin's going to get a visit from her pitching coach, Carrie Everly Parker. There's mom and dad watching Ruby. Mom's Heidi, dad is Wayne. Of course, there's so much history for this family at this university here in Nebraska. Ruby's dad played at Nebraska. He also played at Wyoming. Her late grandfather, Wayne, was a 2-time All-American at Nebraska and played in the NFL. He's a college football Hall of Famer. She actually went and visited his plaque here on campus. But he's a legend here as a Husker football player. There he is, the 2-time All-American. This is Ruby in the Osborne Hall of Champions here at Nebraska, right next to her grandfather's picture.
You know, Wayne Malin is looking down and proud of the things that his granddaughter has been able to accomplish as she tries to get the Cowgirls back to OKC after missing it last season.
Hasn't played in this state since her high school days at Skutt Catholic High School. Trying to dance out of a big jam here in the 2nd inning, trying to give her offense a little momentum. 0-1 pitch to Core is fouled out of play. 0-2.
Really using the outside part of the plate against Core. In her last at-bat, she hit that high hop over the head of Malin that was almost a double play. That hit happened last night. So this is her first at-bat here today against Malin.
How many times you taken at bat in the same game on separate days?
Unfortunately, more than I like to admit. You never like to disrupt the rhythm of a game. And last night when the rain started to fall, it was not the rain that stopped us, but it was the lightning getting a little bit too close to the ballpark. So while we thought we would resume last night, no such chance. Had to come back and try to do this today.
And Akor trying to gather herself between each pitch. You see her kind of go to a knee and put a palm on the ground. That's her pre-pitch routine.
All of us have different ways to center ourselves and gather our thoughts as we step into the box, and that's her routine that gets her ready to go.
Ground ball left side, picked up by Davis, who makes the throw. Ruby Malin dances out of a jam and gets a big strikeout of Jordy Fromm en route to doing so. Nebraska 3-0 at the end of 2.
Scoring teams with us today.
How about that game earlier today in Gainesville with Florida and Texas Tech? They're back in business tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern on ABC and streaming on the ESPN app. It was the former Gator Mia Williams with her 23rd home run of the season that ended up being the decisive blow.
7 home runs hit in the last 3 innings in that ball game. So crazy to see the offense showing up late as neither team wanted to go down with the loss.
There was only one game that topped that one so far today, and it just happened in Norman, Oklahoma, with Mississippi State erasing a very large deficit with just 2 innings to play. Not quite to the extent Texas Tech did last week against Ole Miss, as Jordy Fromm is back in the circle for inning number 3. She has given up a single in each of the first 2, and she faces 9-1-2 for Oklahoma State here, led off by Aubrey Jones.
Oh, that's cool. You guys are awesome. No, after we eat the pizza.
0-2 pitch to Jones. Inside, ball 1. Oklahoma State leadoff hitters this year, .432 average. And something's got to give, Jenny, because Oklahoma State scored 7 or more runs in 6 consecutive games. Nebraska has allowed 5 total runs in their last 6 and no more than 2 in a game.
I got it right here. Hold on.
Ground ball left side, picked up on a short hop and flipped to first by Bland.
Much better approach by the third baseman there. When it comes off the bat with a high hop, you want to be able to try to exploit that by moving forward. So a really good job by Sam Bland to come forward, pick her hop, and be aggressive across the diamond with that throw. Back
to the top of the order for Oklahoma State with Claire Timm, who struck out swinging as the first batter of the game last night. And swings through that pitch for strike one.
Fromm went with velocity when she faced Tim yesterday, and so in this situation goes to the changeup. Try to disrupt timing, especially knowing the kind of power and speed that is at the plate.
Off the handle of Tim, and she falls behind 0-2. Claire Tim has had a great bounce back season after hitting just .250 with 19 hits last year, a .336 average on the season, 9 home runs. And she credited just the environment that Kenny Gajewski and her teammates have created for her, and simply said, you know, last year was just hard. 0-2, outside.
And to be able to learn those lessons and come out on the other side is really important. And you can tell that after having a really rough 2025, she's swinging with a lot more confidence this year. Had a huge grand slam in Game 3 against Stanford in regionals. It's those lessons learned that are hard to swallow, but at the same time pay dividends in the postseason.
Jordy misses outside on back-to-back pitches. Fromm coming off a career-high 16 strikeouts in one of their 2 wins over Grand Canyon in regionals last weekend, in which she had a 24-to-1 strikeout-to-walk ratio. Tough pitch for Tim to foul off right there.
And what you're seeing is these hitters for Oklahoma State are allowing the ball to travel pretty deep. They are respecting the changeup, but what that means is they're not on time to velocity. Really important to pick a speed, but when you get 2 strikes, you just have to try to sit middle and allow the ball to travel to make a late decision.
And fights that pitch off that's up and in.
They just don't want that changeup to beat them in the box, and so with that, you're finding these in-between swings for the Cowgirls at the moment.
Another 2-2 from Jordy Fromm. Just a piece, no. That is a strikeout. It just got away from Farrell, but it is strikeout number 3 for Fromm.
And a fantastic reaction by Jessie Farrell back behind the plate. That ball was up and away from the receive. It was hard to get a hold of. Because of that, goes all the way to the back of the backstop, but Farrell able to come and respond to secure the out.
It's a pretty good number. Over 50% of the batters she's faced in the NCAA tournament have gone down on strikes. Did she go? She did not. That is ball 1 inside to Carly Godwin.
Well, that strikeout pitch was 71 miles an hour. So now Jordy comes back with a 58-mile-an-hour changeup. What the Cowgirls have to do is sit a speed, pick a speed early in each at bat to attack. You can't get caught in the middle and find success.
Godwin swings through that pitch for strike 1.
Well, and while that ball was up and out of the zone, I appreciate the fact that Godwin was definitely on time for that pitch. So in the pitch before, a little bit out of rhythm and out of sync, but on this one, out of the zone, but on time.
Two-1 to Carly Godwin, who's been really good over the last 6 games. 9 hits in 19 at-bats, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. She's one of the top run producers a year ago for Oklahoma State. Three and 1. Carly Godwin had one of the best freshman seasons ever at Oklahoma State. You see what she's done in the NCAA tournament as well. In just 12 games, she's driven in 18. Got her swinging for strike 2.
That pitch up in the zone always looks meaty to a hitter. However, you cannot allow yourself to swing over the belt That pitch up in the zone will not be called a strike. You've got to show discipline on that pitch.
Full count. And that misses low.
Jordy Fromm does not give up many free passes. Just the 29th walk of the season for Fromm. And if you can show that kind of discipline down in the zone, I also need you to show that kind of discipline up in the zone if you want to get the win here today.
This is a hitter that could change the momentum of this game in Rosie Davis. Instead, swings first pitch and chops it to second, handled by Kamenzind. 3 scoreless for Jordy Fromm and Nebraska. The fans behind the Cornhuskers, who are up 3.
There is nothing like the Women's College World Series.
Can you believe it? It all starts on Thursday on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2, the Women's College World Series. And already one team is packing their bags. The Tennessee Lady Vols have punched their ticket to OKC. Is this a year for Karen Weekly?
2 wins quickly over Georgia to be able to advance to OKC. Big day for Carlin Pickens in the circle. Is she going to be able to be enough to get another natty, for Tennessee?
These are the most active head coaches with the most appearances without a title. Karen Weekly has 8 of them. Kenny Gajewski has also snuck up there. They've been in the mix, though. Certainly Karen Weekly has the pitching staff to do it. Can they get the offensive support that was the missing piece last year? Nebraska back at the dish. There is strike 1 from Ruby Malin, trying to go back-to-back scoreless innings after the 3-run home run in the first off the bat of Jessie Farrell, who is due up 3rd. This is Hannah Kamenzind. Takes ball 1. Hannah went in the portal a couple years ago from Arkansas and said she was hoping she'd end up at Nebraska. They were one of the first programs that ended up reaching out, and it was a dream come true for her to come back home. Said, I knew we'd have a good team, but these past 2 years have exceeded everything I had hoped for.
And I think what you're seeing is the impact and the ripples created by the move of Jordy Fromm to come back home and play at Nebraska. Everybody expected Fromm would just stay at Oklahoma and try to win a couple more championships to finish her career, but the movement back to Nebraska has given the life and the breath that these transfers now live on, and it's exactly what this crowd is here to see this weekend.
2-2 from Malin. The Oklahoma State contingent in the stands were hoping for that call. Instead, it's 3-2.
And what you're seeing is this zone is pretty tight. And so if the Cowgirls continue to swing outside of the zone, they're going to not be able to be effective against Jordy Fromm. But what you're seeing is very good plate discipline against Malin in the circle, which is putting a lot more pressure on her to bring the ball over the plate into more hittable zones.
Leadoff walk here in the third. Don't forget LSU Alabama is coming up next from Tuscaloosa, the 1 seed. Alabama taking on the Tigers, a little rivalry on this super regional weekend. Eric Freed and Madison Shipman will bring you that one. Who knows, Jenny? We might get it to them on time. We had 4 outs of a head start tonight after the rain delay last night. See what we can do. They might owe us dinner after this one.
Well, I'm just in for a good ball game, no matter how long it takes. I appreciate good softball, and right now we're moving along pretty efficiently.
Good spot from Malin on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ava Cusack, who struck out swinging her first time up. Just look at this setting here at Bowlin Stadium. They named the field Rhonda Revelle Field at Bowlin Stadium earlier this year.
I don't think this song's good enough to play twice in one game.
Cusack fouls that back, and why wouldn't you? Rhonda Revelle spent 34 years here as the head coach, but also as a player, was a member of their 1982 Women's College World Series team. Her associate head coach, Lori Sippel's been here even longer, 37 years. For another former Husker standout.
Well, and Rhonda Revelle has the 3rd most wins of all active head coaches in the world of softball. 5th in terms of all-time wins. Hard to believe that this is the first time Super Regionals has been held here in Lincoln.
Had some great teams here. They've had some great players. This is driven into right field. It's going to roll to the wall. Cusack around first, headed for second. And it's a double for Ava Cusack.
Cusack, 12th double on the season, and to be able to drive this ball to the right side, so important because it allows the runner to advance easily. When you go oppo, it takes the ball further away from third base, so it's an easy 2-base advancement for Kamenzen, who was that leadoff walk, and Cusack glides in with that double.
And the alarm bells might be ringing a little bit here in the 3rd inning. Nebraska is in business, and it's Jessie Farrell at the plate. Swinging first pitch up the middle. What a day for Farrell. Here comes run number 2, and she's safe. Five RBIs for Jessie Farrell in 3 innings.
So important to be able to be aggressive on a velocity pitch down in the zone. After hitting a home run in her last at bat, she was hunting that pitch down and in. And when you hunt a zone and it finds its way into it, you better be ready to pull the trigger. Exactly. In that situation, hard ground ball up the middle. Single, scores 2.
Strike 1 to Samantha Bland. Jenny, this is a Nebraska team that has the nation's longest win streak. They've won 24 games in a row. They have won 38 of their last 39.
I would say, though, they haven't had the run production that I'd like to have them be able to produce here at the end of the season. They know what they're going to get out of the circle with Jordy Fromm and Alexis Jensen, but the bats need to be woken up, and it seems to have happened here today.
This is into right field. That's carrying and off the wall. It's extra bases again, and Nebraska right back in business. Second and third, still no outs.
Well, and Farrell had to play that one differently because it looked as though it might have been reined in for a catch by the right fielder, Madison Hoffman. Deep off the wall, Farrell had to stay close-ish to first base, but with it ricocheting off the wall, she takes off. Because of that, Bland has to play it a little bit differently as well. She does get in for her 8th double of the year. And now Nebraska threatening again with 2 runners in scoring position.
And Ruby Malin is going to exit with no outs in the 3rd inning. And look at what Nebraska's done. 7 total runs a week ago in regionals. And then today, off one of the best pitchers in the nation, they have put up 5 already.
And that's what they needed to do. They needed to go back to the drawing board to be able to figure out how to support their pitchers in the circle who were giving them low-scoring ball games. And so it's important that they continue to rally on a new pitcher.
Riley Crandall is the new arm in a very tough spot. Just 2+ for Ruby Malin. Gave up the 3-run home run in the 1st and then a couple runs here in the 3rd so far, but she's responsible for 2 more as she makes way for the senior from New Mexico. Riley Crandall in her 2nd year at Oklahoma State, their 2nd most used arm by far. Had a really good outing last week against Eastern Illinois, but for the most part down the stretch, it's been all Ruby Malin.
Well, and she's healthy now after a tough year battling injury. She will throw in the mid-60s, lives with her curveball confidently, and this week her screw has had some drop movement to it. This is a situation that she needs to step in and take control of right away because the bats for Nebraska are rolling.
Facing Casey Hoffman here in the 7 spot for the Huskers, who falls behind quickly 0-2. It was actually Crandall who got the win over Nebraska in February, made 2 appearances against the Huskers, 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned, and 4 strikeouts. Needs this. And is ripped into the Oklahoma State bullpen.
And when she's ahead in a count, she will throw that changeup. That's exactly what that pitch was. So important to make sure that she establishes that pitch early so that these Nebraska hitters don't just sit velocity.
Ground ball back to Crandall, who looks the runner back, but the Huskers play it perfectly, and Jessie Farrell scores. She never really went back.
When you have a runner on third base leaning like that, as a pitcher, you have the opportunity to change your momentum and look to third base a little bit longer. But in that situation, you want to also make sure that you record an out and you don't get stuck with the bases loaded. Important in that moment to get the out, but with it, aggressive base running puts another run on the board.
What a day Jessie Farrell is having so far. Her head coach, Rhonda Revelle, who's only worked with her 1 year. She transferred from UNLV, but she said, I just don't think she has any idea how good she is and how good she can be. she might be figuring it out today.
Well, in that moment, it looked like there was a squeeze bunt on. Luckily, tipped enough of it that it was a foul ball because it was leaving the runner at third. Bland, very vulnerable.
1-1 count to Bella Bacon.
And with just one out, the defense again will be shallow, trying to prevent Bland from scoring from third base.
Slow roller right side, the runner coming home. They do get the out at first, but it is 7-0 Nebraska.
There was a ton of English off the bat with that one. Bacon was so far ahead of contact that she caught it off of the end of the bat, and because of that, over at second base, there was no time to get the advancing runner down the line from third. So just getting the out at first feels like a win in that moment.
Just the 6th RBI of the season for Bacon. First pitch outside to Lauren Kamenzind. Ruby Malin looks on.
What am I gonna do? Jiu-jitsu, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that'll do. Come on, Mo!
Swing and a miss, 1-1 count. A lot that goes into that decision, Jenny, especially in game one, because at the end of the day, Oklahoma State is not getting out of Lincoln if Ruby Malin is not good, and they will need her tomorrow, regardless of what happens today.
When Crandall's doing her job, she is disrupting timing. They are not throwing, or they are not hitting with a ton of velocity. They're mishitting, they're ahead, they're behind in terms of contact. So Crandall is doing her job. But what happens is when she comes into a situation with runners in scoring position, those weak ground balls are hard to get the out at the plate.
Kamenzind might have had something bothering her eye, but she is back at the plate ready. And a 1-2 count from Crandall. Twin sister Hannah looking on. That gets away, 3-2 count. Trying to give Jordy Fromm an opportunity here in the third.
I think you nailed it, though, Chucky, when you talk about why Malin is not in this ball game anymore. They're going to need her arm tomorrow.
This is hit hard into center field, right at the center fielder Warsop. But Nebraska has ran Ruby Malin from the game. 7 runs, a career high. We'll talk to the Oklahoma State head coach, Kenny Gajewski, when we return to Lincoln. They have not yet enjoyed their trip, but the Huskers are having a lot of fun in Lincoln. They lead big. Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. We go to the fourth inning in Lincoln, Nebraska, up big on Oklahoma State. We're joined by the Cowgirls head coach, Kenny Gajewski. Coach, despite the score and the situation in this game, what do you just need to see from your team in this moment?
Just fight. I think that's the bottom line. It's not the way we drew this up at all, but we've had some good at-bats. We've had a few where we've been chasing some, but I've liked our fight there. We just got to get out here and figure out a way to stop them and just kind of get this game controlled here.
Well, and it looks as though some of your hitters are getting caught in between speeds. So what's the adjustment that they need to make at the plate against Fromm?
Yeah, she makes it tough when you throw 3 pitches. At the percentages that she does, it makes it tough. So we just got to commit to what we want to do and let it rip. I don't care if we swing and miss. I just want to make sure we're going at strikes. And we had a few that haven't been good. So, but we've had some other nice at bats too. So just got to keep fighting the way here.
Thanks so much, Coach.
All right, guys.
And what an excellent job Kenny Gajewski has done at Oklahoma State. Regardless of the result today, they will get a crack at it tomorrow in Game 2, 5 Eastern on ESPN. One of these two teams will be hoping to advance to OKC tomorrow, but it is a tall hill to climb for the Cowgirls against one of the best players in the country in Jordy Fromm. There is strike one to Lexi McDonald.
There's a lot of superlatives that we could use when we talk about Jordy Fromm, but I think more than anything, just understanding that she is the best two-way player that we have in our game right now. She's tough to face in the circle, and then her bat has been so strong this season.
There is strike two. Jordy Fromm is just laser focused right now. But at the same time, when you've watched her in press conferences with her head coach, when we talked to her with her teammates yesterday, there's a calmness, there is a freedom to her despite what is on the line right now. Strike 3.
I think you nailed it, Chucky. There is a quiet confidence that comes out of Jordy Fromm, and a lot of that has to do with just the amount of preparation that she's put into this senior year. That injury 2 years ago, going down with the ACL tear, has given her perspective of what this year means, and now she is attacking this moment. 67-mile-an-hour pitch to bring up another strikeout.
Hasler swings at the first pitch from Fromm. 4 pitches this inning, 4 strikes.
Talk about attacking the zone. That's exactly what Fromm is liking this inning, and as a hitter, you need to take note of that. She is attacking with velocity. So as Hasler steps in, she sits in a hole now, watching that first one go by.
Drives this one foul for strike 2. Despite the hot stretch Amanda Hasler is on right now, she was just 1 for 7 with a few strikeouts in the 2 games played against Nebraska back in February. Those games played in Stillwater. One thing we confirmed last night, that it was colder here in Lincoln in May than it was when these two met in Stillwater in February. Hasler to center field. Hannah Core waiting, 2 outs.
And while that might have been a pretty routine catch in the outfield, that's a really good contact by Hasler at the plate. Being able to be on time right now seems to be the chore for these Oklahoma State hitters.
Fromm looking for her first 1-2-3 inning in the game. That's a swing and a miss from Madison Hoffman, who reached on an infield single back in the 2nd inning. One hit last weekend, and then the hit in this game make her 2 for 7 in the postseason so far. The off speed from Jordy.
Back-to-back changeups. Fromm has so much confidence in that pitch, and so when she gets hit hard with velocity, she goes to the changeup. Is she gonna go to it 3 times in a row, or does she go up and get the swing and miss?
0-2.
Looking good, kid. Looking good. Jesse,
Madison Hoffman is a redshirt freshman from Lee Summit, Missouri. He's actually listed as a pitcher, but Kenny Gajewski said she just forced her way into the lineup. She said she is the best worker he's had in his 11 years in Stillwater. Tough spot for the freshman here.
Great discipline. That pitch up in the zone was getting a ton of swing and miss last inning. So to be able to stay off that pitch at the eye is going to be really important.
We'll talk to Rhonda Revelle before the next half inning. She's got to be having a lot of fun right now. Swing and a miss. Jordy's 5th of the game, and she is rolling.
Jordy Fromm spinning a gem from the circle. 5 strikeouts in this game, 2 of them in this inning. They need 1 run to walk it off.
Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. The Cornhuskers up 7-0 on Oklahoma State here in Lincoln. We are joined by Nebraska head coach Rhonda Revelle. Coach, you've been doing this 34 years. It's the first time you have hosted Supers in this building. This atmosphere, I mean, what does this mean to you to see this type of crowd?
Well, before I answer that, let me date myself. There was no such thing as Supers.
That's right.
when I started coaching. So let me be clear there, because we have hosted regionals. But, oh my gosh, even last night with the rain delay and people going to their cars, and I heard people drove off, and then they heard we were going to come back, and they came back, and they came in. And I mean, I don't know that there's a better atmosphere going on in a super regional anywhere in the country right now. This crowd is unbelievable, and they're behind this team. And this team, you know, we've said all year, they work to bring them joy, and hopefully it's, you know, it goes back and forth both ways, that we feel each other's energy.
Well, and you're giving them a pretty good show. I mean, Jordy in the circle is doing such a good job. Tell us what it means to have her out there leading this team.
I'm just going to get personal. I love that woman. And I love her on the field, and I love her off the field. And she has absolutely emptied herself for this program, for this team, for her teammates, for her coaches, for this state, for everybody that is a fan of ours. And I couldn't appreciate her more for that, and couldn't love her more for that.
Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck.
That made me emotional. I mean, to have a coach understand you at a depth and a level like that, and appreciate you the person just as much as you the ball player, when you've been this impactful for this team, this state, this crowd. So pretty cool to be able to hear those pretty tender words shared by head coach Rhonda Revelle, that has lived through most of the history of this Nebraska softball team.
Jordy leads off here in the fourth, and she told us the other day, just wants to leave this program in a better place than when we got here and leave a strong foundation for the next generation and see it continue to thrive. Takes the first 2 pitches outside. She is on track for the win in this game. She is 1 home run shy of 20. We talked about it, chasing the 20 and 20 in the wins and home runs category to become the first player to ever do it twice. Hard hit and caught over at second. Nice play by Godwin, who has not played all season at second base, but that's a pretty nice grab.
And you have to time your jump just right to be able to bring that one in. That was a hard shot off of Fromm's bat. Had the potential to get out there into right center, but nice little grab keeps her off the base paths.
Now with 1 out, it's Hannah Core. 0 for 2, but reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the first inning. Well, she reached last night. She scored today. Talk about patience at the plate. Left side picked up by Davis. 2 up, 2 down here for the new pitcher, Riley Crandall. A new left fielder as well for Oklahoma State, Macy Graff, a senior from Texas. They have also put in J.L. Austin out in center field, the talented freshman. And Tia Warsop went over to right field. Hannah Kamenzind trying to keep the inning going. 1-1 count.
And look at the way that Crandall is handling the top of the lineup. I mean, this is the part of the lineup that has done a lot of damage in this game. So to be able to come out and handle them quickly, so impressive for the reliever.
Into right center field. It's carrying back toward the track and caught a couple steps before the wall. 1-2-3 inning for Riley Crandall, who's come in and done a very nice job. She's retired all 6 batters she has faced in relief.
Jordy Fromm, one of the best in the business.
And Jordy gets her again. The best pitching performance so far of this NCAA championship. And what a weekend she is having against the Lobes. A Fromm postseason masterpiece, looking to put the capper on it. For the first time in school history, Nebraska will host a super regional.
Jordy has been on it all year, but she's really stepping it up in the postseason and picking up where she left off last weekend. 4 innings, 1 walk, 5 Ks, no runs so far. And Nebraska tags Ruby Malin for 7 runs, a career high.
And what happens is when you show discipline on the ball up in the zone against Malin, it creates a situation where she has to put the ball into hittable zones. So that discipline by the hitters of Nebraska gave them that 7-run advantage.
Tia Warsop into left field with Natalia Hill making the catch for out number 1. Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City. The action begins Thursday, May 28th at 12 Eastern, live on ESPN. For more info on the 2026 Women's College World Series, visit NCAA.com, the home for all NCAA championships.
All those World Series since 1990 have been held in OKC. It's where everybody wants to go back and finish their season. The only one not played in OKC since 1990. Back in 1996, they played the precursor event to the Olympics in Columbus, Georgia.
Wonder what the team that won it that year thought about not playing in OKC. Would you know anything about that, Jenny Dalton-Hill, 3-time national champion?
That was my senior season, and I will say that that kind of fueled our team. We were not the #1 seed that year, and because of that, we got sent away to play regionals, then didn't get to end up in OKC, and it was kind of a revenge tour for us because we felt a little disrespected. So thank you to the NCAA.
Strike 2 to Schneidmiller. Jordy looking for strikeout number 6. She's retired 5 straight. She's not given up anything worse than a single. 2 singles and a walk in the game. Slow roller left side, picked up by Bland, and there's 2 outs.
This is the most calm and settled I think I've seen Jordy Fromm in the circle. She seems just ready to attack the end of the year.
Aubrey Jones with 2 outs and nobody on here in the 5th. Takes a big cut through that first pitch for strike 1.
And that's what Kenny Gajewski wants his hitters to do, sell out and be on time. So while she did miss contact, she was on time with that pitch, and it's hard to do against Fromm.
And again, taking a big cut there and fouls that back. Kenny Gajewski, high praise for the freshman, said she's one of the most competitive human beings he's ever coached. Super gifted shortstop, as well as J.L. Austin, who did not start in this game and hasn't the last couple, but was a big piece of this team all year long. 0-2 to Jones.
One of the pieces of her swing that they've been trying to adjust is that leg kick in her front leg. And with that leg kick, it can sometimes adjust her timing at the plate. Ken Gajewski says he needs to get her to trust him.
Hits this to left center field, and backing up is Hill to make the catch. Back-to-back 1-2-3 frames for Jordy Fromm and the Huskers. 1 run will do it and take them 1 step closer to Oklahoma City.
The NCAA Softball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Beautiful Lincoln, Nebraska, and actually saw some sun today on day 2, but still game 1 as you look at what Nebraska's done. 3 in the first, 4 in the third, and they are 1 run from walking this off early here in the bottom of the 5th. This is a college debut for a freshman from Needville, Texas, Michaela Smith. Hasn't played all year. Welcome to college softball in Supers against Nebraska.
Well, and I think the reason you see her enter the game, there's no way that Nebraska was able to prepare for this pitcher in the circle. And with that, while she does throw her velocity pitches about the mid-60s, it's the off-speed curve and off-speed rise that can really disrupt timing. So as the Cowgirls try to extend this game, they need to make sure that they're missing barrels by the freshman.
This is hit into left field for a leadoff base hit from Ava Cusack.
How do you welcome a brand new pitcher to the ball game? Well, you welcome her by making some pretty good contact. Knowing that the timing is going to be difficult, you've got to stay balanced in your legs and not sell out to velocity.
It was really cool from the Oklahoma State fans that made the trip. I think a lot of them realized the situation, so they were kind of up on their feet, excited for this collegiate debut for Michaela Smith. This is upstairs to Nebraska's hottest hitter right now, and it's Jessie Farrell. A 3-run home run and a 2-run single for 5 RBIs in the game. It's a good spot on the inside corner for strike 1.
I mean, the repertoire that Smith has in the circle, she's got rise and drop, and so being able to pick a plane as a hitter is difficult, knowing that you've got that kind of vertical separation coming out of the circle.
Farrell with 35 career home runs, grounds this left side. Davis off balance, and they won't get 2. Farrell's going to try and take 2 after the throw gets away, so she is into scoring position with just 1 out.
And that ball was a rocket to the third baseman, Rosie Davis. And because it got to her so quickly, there was a chance to roll a double play. But the throw from the second baseman, Godwin, could not be thrown as a strike over to first base. And so some advancements happen with that overthrow, puts Farrell in scoring position. And that run ends the ball game. So important to make sure that they get 2 outs before Farrell finishes it. But a pinch runner will come in.
Senior from Cerritos, California, Caitlin Caneda. Ruby Malin looking on. I don't think there's too much question who would get the ball tomorrow, but we'll see. You would think in an elimination game, if that's what it ends up being, you would go with Ruby, but you never know. Samantha Bland with 1 out trying to end the game, fouls it straight back 0-2.
Well, in Bland's last plate appearance, it was not against this pitcher. She was going against Malin, and it was a big double.
That was the last batter that Ruby Malin faced. Bland takes ball 1. Jordy Fromm looking on, hoping Nebraska can end it right here. Up the middle, that gets over the glove of Jones. Here comes the run, trying to score. She is out at the plate. Nebraska will challenge, but it was a great throw from the freshman J.L. Austin out in center field.
Well, and remember, we had a defensive replacement made out there in center field. So Tia Warsop was the original center fielder who is now in right field. J.L. Austin entered the game. And with this ground ball back up the middle, it's a do-or-die play that you practice every single day. Nice throw to get that ball into the catcher. Schneidmiller quickly leaving the front face of the plate open, so obstruction is not in the conversation. This is just a play that we are going to review to make sure that the tag was applied in time, and I think it's close, but I think they got this one right on the field. It's going to take more than that look, I think, to change this call.
The crowd just saw that look, and there was kind of a big gasp. I think the home crowd here in Lincoln thinks she's safe. But to your point, Jenny, not sure that's going to be enough.
Yeah, there has to be another look that gives it a little bit of a better look. I don't know that you're going to see it in this look, as we're obstructed by the view of the runner coming in, the tag happening on the other side of the runner's body. Does the hand get in before the tag is applied?
That hits right there on the elbow. It looks like she's out.
I think she's out. I think he got it right on the field. Home plate umpire Terry Holt back behind the plate today. Rhonda Revelle out in the third base box saying safe every time she watches the replay on the big screen here in the stadium.
This view is very interesting to me because it entirely looks, it looks entirely different than the other angle. But even here, it looks like you can see the glove kind of move right there on the hand before it touches the plate. Here comes the call. Let's see what they decided.
After further review, the call of out is confirmed. Nebraska has one remaining challenge.
Oklahoma State stays alive, still 7-0, and now 2 outs here in the 5th.
But you can't fault Rhonda Revelle for being aggressive on the bases. It was going to take a perfect throw, and that's exactly what JL Austin was able to do from center field. Do or die play, game on the line, postseason, and she delivered a really nice throw to get the out.
Bland on second for Casey Hoffman, who takes ball one high, senior from Elkhorn, Nebraska. Second year playing for the Huskers. Back-to-back very productive years for her. Spent 3 years at Arkansas. Missed the 2024 season with injury. One of 12 Nebraska seniors.
When Hoffman had the go-ahead home run against UCLA in the Big Ten tournament, there is power at the plate.
Looking for her 17th multi-hit game of the year. Takes strike one in the 3-0 count. What a moment this could be for the freshman Michaela Smith. Trying to put up a 0 against the Huskers in Supers in her debut. But walks Hoffman.
And this is what you work all season long in the dark to do. Make an appearance here at the end of the season in the biggest moment in front of a crazy crowd that is not in support of her. Big moment for the freshman.
Now Bacon, who has a single and then also grounded out in the third and drove in a run. This is Bella Bacon's 22nd start of the year, was a 94-game starter at first base over the last 2 years. Ground ball left side, Jones goes to third to get the out. Clean inning for Michaela Smith in her collegiate debut. We are through 5 here in Lincoln.
And this game is still going because of an amazing play made by J.L. Austin out there in center, delivers a strike and keeps this game alive.
Seven 0 Huskers over the Cowgirls here in game 1 of Supers. 10-2 in the hit columns. Take a look at some of the stories today. Texas Tech outlasting Florida. Mia Williams, a 2-run shot to win it. A go-ahead home run late in that game. Kendall Wells hits number 38 and number 39, but Mississippi State scored 9 runs in the final 2 innings to upset the Sooners. Sam Ricketts going back to Norman where she once played and has them on the brink of elimination.
I got to give props to Taryn McKinney, the pitching coach at Mississippi State, to be able to keep that game in check. There were moments where you had to hold your breath.
Swing and a miss by the freshman J.L. Austin, who is trying to stop Jordy Fromm from mowing down this lineup. She's retired 7 in a row. Austin's first at bat, swings through it, just got a piece of it.
Well, and Fromm has been able to start every inning perfect. 0 for 5 in these leadoff spots for Oklahoma State. And a lot of it comes down to they're swinging at these pitches above the belt.
Oh, 2. Got her. Number 6 for Jordy. Monday, catch some afternoon Major League Baseball on ESPN. The Yankees head to Kansas City to take on the Royals. First pitch at 3:30 Eastern. And all season long, ESPN is the home of MLB.TV. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLBTV. I'm not going to lie to you, Jenny. My Royals are struggling.
I wasn't going to bring it up, Chucky, because I didn't need you to cry on air. We'll just say they're going to lean on their pitching staff and defense to slow down the Bombers.
One away for Carly Godwin, who fouls off the first 2 pitches from Fromm and is down in the count 0-2.
Fromm loves to get ahead early, and then she gets to just play around the zone, manipulate speeds.
This is hit high and deep to left field and gone. Oklahoma State is on the board thanks to Carly Godwin. Her 10th home run of the season.
And her head coach asked that they sell out on the swings that they were putting on these pitches. And with the ball up in the zone, we knew that Jordy Fromm was using and exploiting the top half. But that pitch sat middle, 218 feet. So it didn't get out of here by much, but it doesn't have to. Huge home run, you mentioned it. 10th home run of the year, now sits in double-digit figures. The team's 68th bomb.
That is now 10 straight games with a home run and 19 total in that span. They hit 7 in their 3 regional games last weekend. It's an offense that's been swinging the bat really well. I mentioned the 6 straight games with 7 or more runs. They've scored 5 or more in 10 of the last 11 entering this weekend. Now Rosie Davis. She sits on that pitch. It's right to the third baseman, Bland. 2 outs.
I think the part about that home run that was most impressive for Godwin was the fact that she did it in an 0-2 count. I mean, you wouldn't expect Fromm to come that close to the zone when she sat that far ahead in the count.
Two away for Lexi McDonald. Another hard hit ball that sneaks through the 5-6 hole. Oklahoma State finding a little confidence here in the top of the 6th.
And while we saw Jordy Fromm manipulating speeds early in this ball game and hitting corners, she's now challenging these hitters with velocity, and they are rising to the challenge, squaring her up in this inning.
Kenny Gajewski making a change on the base paths. Libby Jacques will run over at first, freshman from Moore, Oklahoma. Don't forget, Alabama LSU is coming up next on ESPN2. Crimson Tide will try to take the advantage in game 1 of that super regional. Eric Freed and Madison Shipman bringing you the call from Tuscaloosa. Strike 1 on the inside corner to Amanda Hassler. The off speed for strike 2.
I mean, she is peppering the zone. It's just a matter of making sure that she keeps these barrels off balance. Throwing velocity after she's gotten ahead in the last couple of batters has proved to be big hits.
Got her swinging. The off speed on back-to-back pitches for Jordy Fromm, who has 7 strikeouts.
So while she does end the inning on that changeup strikeout, not before Carly Godwin put a huge swing on the home run to put the Cowgirls on the board.
Thank you, Matt. We are looking forward to the later games. Nebraska up 6 on Oklahoma State here in Lincoln. How important is a win in game 1? 79% of game 1 winners advance. Tennessee already has. That is right back at Smith, who makes the play.
And I think to your graphic, Chucky, I think Oklahoma State is saying that's fine. 21% get through. So it's just a matter of how you want to make sure you look at that. While they sit right now in a 6-run deficit, it comes down to making sure that you just keep stringing things together. They've got more outs to play with as they rely on the arm of an untested freshman in the circle.
You're giving me graphics credits now. You said it was my graphic. Up the middle for Jordy Fromm with 1 away. That's her 2nd hit today.
And Jordy Fromm's not trying to do too much at the plate. She's just trying to meet this ball and send it right back up the middle. Her first hit of this ball game did happen yesterday, but it was a ground ball back up the middle as well.
Top 3 finalists for USA Softball Player of the Year. Former NFCA Division I Player of the Year. That was last year. 2-time national champion, the NFCA National Freshman of the Year back in 2022.
Well, she's been a pitcher of the year in 2 different conferences.
She's one of 3 pitchers in Power Conference history to be named 4-time Conference Pitcher of the Year. Kat Osterman and Paige Parker, the other 2.
Those are pretty big names.
2-1 count to Hannah Core. Very good friends with Jordy Fromm, transferred from Oklahoma this year, where she spent 4 seasons, won 3 national championships. And Rhonda Revelle actually got a little emotional when talking about Hannah Core. You asked about kind of each player, what they were like, and Rhonda Revelle teared up and said she's waited a long time to feel the way she feels this year.
Relaxed, playing free, and just bringing a lot of joy to this ball club.
She is the winning run as Hannah Kamenzen steps to the plate.
Well, and Kamenzen has power when you watch the way she swings the stick. Her last home run against Grand Canyon in their win in regionals was her 8th home run of the year.
Takes strike 1 from the freshman Smith. Kamenzen, one of 4, I should say, 2-way players for Nebraska. Hasn't pitched since April 21st. The Huskers have really gone to the 2 arms of Fromm and Jensen exclusively down the stretch. But she's had a really good year in the circle. And Rhonda Revelle talked about the value she brought there. As you look at Alexis Jensen in the dugout, we'll likely see her get the start tomorrow. But Rhonda Revelle talked about the ability to keep those 2 arms fresh with someone like Hannah Kamenzen, giving them valuable innings early in the year.
And so while she hasn't thrown since April 22nd, I think it's really important to talk about how taking those arms off, or taking those pitches off those 2 big arms in the circle, has helped them be fresh here at the end of the year.
1-2 to Kamenzen, who it's almost 470 with runners in scoring position. Outside, ball 2. Hannah said she wants to coach, so she will GA with this Nebraska team next year. Her sister Lauren is a journalism major and said she'll do some work with the Nebraska broadcasting crews next year. Already has called a couple baseball games this year, did Lauren. 3-2.
And this season, this is the highest batting average Hannah Kamenson's had in her career. Coach says she's clutch and steady as her twin looks on.
3-2. This is floated into shallow center and falls. Everybody will advance a base. The base is now loaded with just one out.
And as a defense, that is such a frustrating hit because they jammed Kamenson at the plate, but just beyond the reach of the shortstop. Jones going back for that ball. So while Michaela Smith continues to do a good job in the circle, Kamenson strong enough to punch that with enough juice to get it over the head of the shortstop, keep everybody safe.
She'll be ran for over at first base by Nessa McMillan. The Husker fans have been loud all day and all of last night. Feels like we've waited ages for this game one in Supers, and it's the Huskers in control and trying to end it early as Oklahoma State is going to make another change in the circle and go to another true freshman, one we've seen much more often this year in Presley Downing. It'll be her 19th appearance of the season, the true freshman from Owasso, Oklahoma. Nebraska up 6 though, and Jordy Fromm has fueled it both offensively, but mainly in the circle.
I mean, she's had such an amazing day, both in the circle and at the plate. To watch the way that she is dealing with mixing speeds, getting the ball up in the zone and getting the swing and miss. Just impressive the way she continues to dance around the zone and rack up the strikeouts.
She stands on third base, 6 innings, 4 hits, the 1 home run for the lone run of the game for the Cowgirls, and 7-1 in the strikeout to walk category.
Just been so efficient in the circle. But there will be a new look in the circle, another freshman coming in for Oklahoma State.
Presley Downing trying to give Oklahoma State one more opportunity in the 7th inning. You just never know with what we've seen in the postseason so far this year.
Now she relies on her curveball, so she needs this zone to be wide to be successful here today.
First pitch, ball to the cleanup hitter, Ava Cusack. A double, a single, and a strikeout for Cusack at the plate. 14 home runs on the year. 49 RBIs. Takes ball 2. The winning run for Nebraska stands at second base. 45 career home runs for Cusack in her 2nd year at Nebraska, fresh off first team All Big Ten honors last year. This is in the air to right, not enough to leave the yard, but it will score a run. And now the runner trying to get to second as well. And that's a run that would not matter, but the Nebraska fans love the effort. And the one thing it does is you don't have that force out at second now.
But it also gets in the head of the defense, because when you are aggressive on the base pass, it elevates the heart rate of you as a defender. So in that situation, there was no throw that needed to be made because nobody was covering second base.
Nice job behind the dish by Schneidmiller to keep that pitch in front, or else this would be over. It's Jessie Farrell who started it in the first inning with a 3-run home run. She can finish it right here.
Kidding.
2-0 to Farrell. Popped up, foul territory and playable, and that'll do it. Nice work by Presley Downing out of the Oklahoma State bullpen, and the Cowgirls get one more chance. 6, 7, 8 due up. They'll need a massive 7th inning. Thank you, Matt. We will get it to Tuscaloosa as soon as we can. 8-1 Nebraska. Jordy Fromm trying to put the finishing touches on game one of Supers, but Oklahoma State leading off the 7th inning with a single into left field. That is Madison Hoffman with her 2nd hit of the day off Fromm.
I mean, she's obviously seeing it well to be able to continue to put good barrel on the ball off of Fromm. She's guessing velocity correctly coming out of the circle.
Now Tia Warsop. Ground ball left side. Trying to get the force at second, and they do.
You can tell she's not super happy with the way that that one turned out, because it was a check swing that caught enough of the ball to put it in play. There was a hiccup on the transfer by the shortstop, Cusack, to be able to make that play cleanly, but still gets that lead runner out.
Jordy misses low to the catcher, Schneidmiller. There's been some positives these last couple innings for Oklahoma State. Kenny Gajewski talking about wanting his team to go up there and sell out for something. We've seen more of those cuts as you've talked about, Jenny. So maybe something to build on for game 2 tomorrow, where they will likely face one of the best freshmen in the country, the lefty Alexis Jensen. Bounced in, ball 2. Jordy Fromm closing in on win number 20. It would be her 4th collegiate season with 20 wins, and will likely pick up another first-team All-American nod. This is low, 3-1.
And to have the kind of confidence out there in the circle, Rhonda Revelle knows that they have a great opportunity to be able to get back to OKC, but these Cowgirls are not going to give up without a fight. So Fromm pulls her catcher out, Jessie Farrell, to have a conversation in the circle. Stay in control of this ball game.
Fromm has held them to 5 hits and 1 run. This is an offense in Oklahoma State that scored 34 runs in 3 games in regionals, hit 372. Strike 2. Full count for Schneidmiller. Career best numbers across the board as a redshirt senior this year. Takes ball 4.
Fromm wanted that inside corner, just could not nip it. The crowd also frustrated by that, not getting the call. Fromm just so good at painting corners. That one slides inside a little too far.
Rhonda Revelle wants to talk to her senior star. For Kenny Gajewski and company, this is the first situation where they've had a runner in scoring position today.
Well, Jordy Fromm just does not put on free base runners. Her whip, or walks and hits per innings pitched, sits at like 0.84, and so because of that, you know that the free passes that these Cowgirls have been able to get here today are cherished. 2 walks out of the circle by Jordy Fromm. She just doesn't give up the free pass very often.
Aubrey Jones is 0 for 2. A ground out and a fly out off Fromm today. Takes strike 1.
Joe, right here. Right here, Joe. Come on. Yep.
1-1. Nebraska trying to pick up their 25th win in a row and their 50th of the season. Ground ball, chance for 2, quick flip, and they got her. Nebraska takes game 1 of Supers.
The kinds of moments Jordy Fromm was built for. Already has 2 national championships under her belt. Now trying to get Nebraska back to the Holy Land in OKC.
Let's take a look at tonight's Capital One rewarding performance. Jessie Farrell.
In her first plate appearance on the night, in a 1-0 count, that ball was blasted. Big home run started things off, and then in her very next at bat, ground ball back up the middle, 2 runs come across. In a 2-for-4 night, she's coming away with most of the runs for the Huskers.
You rarely need 8 when Jordy Fromm's in the circle. So it's job done on day 1.5 for Nebraska. Trying to advance to the Women's College World Series for the 8th time in program history. Arkansas beat Duke earlier today, so it could be the Razorbacks and the Huskers in round one. We'll see. A lot more softball to be played, including in Tuscaloosa, where LSU and Alabama are. Eric Freed and Madison Shipman have the call. For my partner Jenny Dalton Hill and our entire crew, I'm Chucky Kemp. We will see you tomorrow from Lincoln.